And on Saturday morning at 6 a.m., she drove to Alki Beach in West Seattle alone because she needed somewhere that wasn't her house or her office or any room in which she was expected to be the person with the answers. And she sat down in the sand with her heels off and her blazer folded beside her and her hands pressed flat against the damp shore. And she stared at the gray, restless water of Puget Sound and let, for the first time in a very long time, the actual weight of everything she had been carrying press itself against the inside of her chest without the armor on. Her breathing changed. Her hands were not quite steady. 10 years of performing composure for rooms full of people who needed her to be fine board meetings and investor calls and all-hands announcements delivered in the kind of calm, deliberate voice that makes people feel safe even when the numbers are not safe, had left something pressed down inside her that now, without the audience, had no reason to stay pressed, and the sensation of that releasing was not relief, but something closer to unraveling. The tears came without her making a decision to cry. And they were the kind of tears that carry weight not just this morning, not just this company, but 10 years of it. 10 years of being the person in every room who had to be fine so that everyone else could afford not to be. She didn't hear him approach. Daniel had gone for a run along the Alki waterfront at 5:30 because he was the kind of person who ran in November in Seattle and meant it. And he spotted her from about 50 yards out, recognized the particular way her shoulders had turned inward, the posture of someone holding an enormous amount alone, and he slowed his pace and stopped and made a decision in about 4 seconds flat that this was not a moment for texting to ask if she was okay. He walked over and sat down beside her in the sand, cross-legged, close enough that their arms were almost touching. He did not ask what was wrong. He did not say anything. He looked at the water with her. For a long stretch of time, the only sounds were the tide and the distant low moan of a ferry horn somewhere out on the Sound, and Evelyn cried without trying to stop it or explain it, and Daniel sat beside her the way people sit with something important without fidgeting, without performing, without reaching for his phone or filling the silence with words designed to make himself feel useful. He just stayed. After a while, she let out a small, broken laugh and said, her voice rough in a way he had never heard it, "God, I must look completely ridiculous right now." And he said, without missing a beat, without any particular inflection, simply and directly, "You look human."